It's over, it's over. After Zombie was devoured by the source, he went on a rampage. With a single snap of his fingers, he destroyed half the fortress. With just a curl of his toe, he subdued Prince Kai, and even Violet's thought deity was effortlessly torn apart. Just as she was about to be strangled to death, at the critical moment, Lling stepped forward, forcing the source to let her go, because she was actually the most destructive member of the team. Just moments earlier, once the source broke free from the seal, he immediately engaged in a battle of epic proportions with Zombie. But because Zombie was worried about Violet and the others, he let his guard down and the source exploited the opportunity. As a large amount of red liquid entered Zombie's body, the source slowly merged with him, mysterious patterns appeared on his skin, and his appearance changed once again as he fell under the source's control. Zombie, after this battle spanning thousands of years, in the end, I am the one who has won. As soon as he finished speaking, dark clouds gathered in the sky and lightning surged. Prince Kai and the others gazed up at Zombie, who stood in the air, all of them utterly shocked. The source has vanished. Did Zombie win? But why does his current form give me such a terrifying feeling? Is this an even stronger battle form? Violet, who had never seen this form before, was equally shocked. Unlike the wild destructive aura of his fifth form, this one felt even more dangerous, like pure death itself. At that moment, the source leaned down and teased, "Oh my, aren't you all old friends? It's been so long. I've prepared a little gift for everyone, please don't be offended." As he spoke, he made a flicking gesture with his fingers. The prophet, with his precognition ability, instantly sensed the danger, and urgently warned everyone, "That's not Zombie. Get out of the way." No sooner had he spoken than the source snapped his fingers, and a terrifying surge of energy instantly obliterated the fortress's sturdy walls. Fortunately, thanks to the prophet's warning, everyone managed to dodge safely. Looking at the hundreds of meters of chasm below, Prince Kai and the others were left trembling. Are you kidding me? Just a finger snap caused this much destruction. The sturdiest human border fortress is going to be completely wiped out. After the recent attack, Zombie's consciousness began to resist the source. His arms suddenly revealed skin of Zombie's original color. You haven't been completely devoured. That's just like you. With that, he clenched his fist, forcefully suppressing Zombie's consciousness once again. Don't resist so much. I haven't even done anything that bad yet, just destroyed this world built from memories, and then I'll head to your real world. Just then, Violet, wielding her blade, suddenly appeared behind the source with a swish. You, give Zombie's body back right now. She swung her blade, but the source dodged with a leap. Don't be so hasty. I promise to give it back in 100 billion years, how about that for a joke? Meanwhile, Prince Kai and Arya rushed over. Prince Kai unleashed a super speed kick at the source, but he dodged effortlessly. Seeing Arya charging in, the source taunted again. Aren't you the companions who followed Zombie back then? Let me use you to celebrate my rebirth. Seeing this, Arya quickly hurled her flames, but as soon as her ability clashed with the source's finger wind, the fire rebounded instantly. As Arya watched the fire approach, sure she was doomed, Greta intervened just in time, helping her evade the flames. In the next second, with a loud boom, both were blasted thousands of meters away, crashing into a distant mountain. Though badly injured, their lives were spared. You both actually survived. Wonderful. Let me give you another shot, then. But before he finished, Prince Kai launched a sneak attack. Though he couldn't land a hit, his speed kept increasing, almost kicking the source several times. The source soon realized something was amiss, not that Prince Kai was faster, but that the prophet was using his ability to predict his movements. Not bad. You're putting in real effort. Let me play with you a little longer. With that, he hooked Prince Kai's collar with his toe, then, with a boom, flung him to the ground, instantly knocking him out of the fight. Then he stepped on Prince Kai's head. Frankly, you're just phantoms shaped by memory. Killing you means nothing, but it seems there's still a real one here. With that, he reached out, instantly shattering Violet's thought deity, and seized her by the throat. Violet was utterly stunned. She never imagined her thought deity could be torn apart so easily. You have Zombie's aura about you. Are you a toy he created? As the source's grip tightened, Violet coughed up a mouthful of blood. At that moment, everyone was injured and unable to help her. Is this what happens when you face Zombie head-on? There isn't even the slightest hope of victory. Just then, Lling suddenly shouted, "Let go of Sister Violet, you bastard." Hearing this, the source looked towards Lling, paused for a moment, and then actually released Violet. Ah, I remember you. If given enough time, you're the most destructive one in the team, aren't you? Back then, they all fought desperately to buy you time. Now I'll give you this chance, want to try? Maybe you really can kill me. Hearing this, Lling dropped his staff and began to charge up. That's what you said, what you just did to destroy the fortress, I can do too. While Lling was charging up, the source not only didn't interfere, but also looked on with anticipation. Afterward, an energy sphere slowly formed in the air. Not bad. You haven't let me down, kid, keep going, keep going. As Lling reached her limit, the sphere became enormous. She swung her staff at the source, releasing her most powerful attack. But the source, facing this ferocious assault, didn't dodge or flinch, he simply extended a finger and stopped the sphere cold. Is that it? Did you skip breakfast? Even given the chance, you're useless, kid. Hearing this, Ling's thoughts flashed back to her childhood. Because she couldn't control her psychic power, she often broke things and was cornered in alleyways, forced to crouch in a corner while others bullied her. Let's see you run now, you damned freak. It's all your stupid mother's fault. She insisted on giving birth to you even after she was bitten by a zombie, and now we have a monster like you who can't control her powers. If you keep breaking things every day, you'll end up executed by the association just like your mom. Listening to her deceased mother being insulted, Lling could only cry and beg them to let her go. I'm sorry, I know I was wrong, I won't do it again. Please stop insulting my mother. You dare make demands of us. Last time, you blew up my room, were you trying to kill me? I've put up with you long enough. No, it's not a demand, it's a plea. My mom just couldn't bear to lose me, she didn't know I would have this kind of power. But her words had no effect, instead, they only made the others angrier. You even dare to talk back. Looks like you need to be taught a lesson. With that, the blonde-haired kid grabbed a nearby trash can, and dumped its contents all over Lling, then began beating and kicking her, shouting as he did so. Beat this freak to death. Lling clutched the rag doll in her arms, apologizing continuously, but this only made the beating worse. As she tried to shield herself with her hands, a green light suddenly appeared in her palms, shooting out and blasting a hole in the concrete rooftop opposite her. The gang was stunned for a moment, then became even more furious. You even dare to fight back. I'll beat you to death today. Lling shouted I'm sorry, as he took the relentless beating. Because I couldn't control the power within me, I was always a monster who brought destruction. So many times I wished I didn't have this power, or that I'd never been born. But for the first time, now, I wish I were even stronger. With that, Lling unleashed all her psychic power, sacrificing her life to maximize her ability. Cracks instantly appeared on her face, and the skin on her hands began to disintegrate. Seeing this, the prophet rushed to stop Lling, but she continued pouring out energy madly. The condensed energy sphere rumbled thunderously. Now there was only one thing that mattered: defeating the source and ending this world's disaster once and for all. However, the source just chuckled. Interesting, truly interesting. Seeing this, Lling burned her life force even faster, increasing her power again. Damn you, I'll wipe that smile off your face. With a thunderous boom, the entire battlefield was engulfed by her power. Greta and the others looked on in shock. Has Lling suppressed him? Can we actually win? As Lling continued burning his life to boost his power and his skin disintegrated, the source spoke slowly. I can sense you have gotten much stronger, this is getting interesting. I'll get a bit more serious. With that, he added another finger to the energy sphere. As he stepped forward, the sphere slowly began to recede. Watching the source so easily push the energy ball back toward her, Ling's eyes were filled with shock. What's wrong? Is it so surprising? You turned your own flesh and bones into fuel for your psychic power, risking your life for this attack, and I subdued it so easily. Did you think you could make up the difference between us just by betting your life? Hearing this, Lling was filled with unwillingness, but helpless. Thinking of how Prince Kai, Arya, and the Prophet treated him like family, and that if he failed, they would all die, Lling broke down in tears. Kai, big brother Prophet, sister Arya. I'm so useless, but I really wish I could protect all of you, just this once. As she finished, the energy on her staff began to fade. The source yawned and said, that's it, the fun really was short-lived. What a disappointment. As soon as he finished speaking, he suddenly realized a hand was on Ling's shoulder. Agon caught the falling Ling with one arm and extended the other toward the source, instantly unleashing the same power as Ling. With a thunderous boom, the energy sphere was blasted away, pulverizing one of the source's arms. In the source's astonished gaze, the sphere shot off like lightning, and leveled a distant mountain. As the dust settled, Ling's staff fell to the ground. She no longer had the strength to stand and leaned weakly against Agon. "Your attack is just like mine, can you tell me who you are?" But when she saw Agon's face, she suddenly remembered her first friend. Because he had no friends as a child, she sewed herself a rag doll, and named it Agon, always carrying it with him. At this moment, Agon smiled at Ling. "That's right, I am Agon, and I am also Ling, the you who let go of everything and finally protected everyone." At that moment, Dawn and Department Head Chen landed on a nearby cliff. Was Agon really this cute back then? How did she turn into what she is now? During the final battle back then, she sacrificed her body completely, and only with the king's help was she able to reform a body with psychic power. Her current form is modeled after the rag doll she always carried. Maybe that's what she truly wants to be. Strong, confident, able to protect others and herself. As they spoke, the source regenerated his arm, and revealed a wicked grin. "Finally, some real opponents have arrived. Now let me truly enjoy myself." As he spoke, black steam rose from his body, swiftly repairing his wounds and tattered clothes. "You're all from the real world, aren't you? I've finally been waiting for you. Don't let me down." Hearing this, Ago said to Agon, "This guy really is the zombie tide source defeated by the king. If this memory world is destroyed and he gets to the real world, it'll be a disaster." Hearing this, Agon gently set Ling down, wiped the dirt from her face, and said she would never let the source reach the real world. Then she turned to the prophet. "Hello, could you look after this child for me? Even if you didn't ask, I'd take care of Ling. Leave the other wounded to me as well." Hearing this, Agon smiled gratefully. "Thank you, brother prophet." The prophet was puzzled that Agon seemed to know him, but rescuing people was the priority, so he didn't ask. After settling Ling, Agon shouted to the group, "Let's go together. We must finish him here." Hearing this, Dawn and Department Head Chen activated their strongest forms, both looking excited. "Come on. We've waited so long for this day." At this moment, the source taunted them. "I hope you're stronger than these memory phantoms, don't disappoint me." But before he finished, Ago flashed to his side, and swung a fist at him. "That's more like it. I like your straightforward style." With a bang, the source punched back, and he and Ago clashed head-on. The two exchanged hundreds of blows, filling the battlefield with thunderous impacts and clouds of dust. But as Ago swung again, the source suddenly ducked, dodged the blow, and delivered an uppercut that punched through Ago's head. As the source looked smug, thinking he had finished Ago, he froze in confusion. "Why does this feel wrong? Your head isn't a weak point. Who would put their weakness in such an obvious spot?" With that, Ago brought down a karate chop, but the source dodged again. "You really are a product of zombies training. If your head isn't your weak spot, I'll just smash your whole body." As soon as he finished, a chunk of metal appeared above his head. Dawn fired a barrage at the source. "Let me turn you into a sieve first." The source bent down to dodge Dawn's attack, looking delighted. "Wow, a blue-flamed Gatling gun, I like this." He grabbed Dawn's Gatling gun and, to Dawn's shock, spun her around 360 degrees, flinging her away. "I really like this weapon, why don't you give it to me?" At that moment, Department Head Chen caught Dawn. Seeing this, the source quickly tossed the Gatling away. "Wow, what's that you've got? Looks even more powerful. It's a great piece. Take it." With that, Department Head Chen gathered energy, and unleashed a nuclear particle cannon at the source. With a thunderous boom, the mountain below was split in two, and the source was blasted back to the ground. But the next second, the source simply waved and tore apart the particle cannon's blast. "Your attack is strong, but it's useless against me." But before he finished, Agon smashed down at the source with both fists. The ferocious attack shattered the rocks and split the earth. Just as everyone thought Agon would succeed, the source suddenly burst out, punching Agon hard in the stomach. "Ha! All these attacks in a row, you're getting me excited." With that, he punched Agon, sending her flying 1,000 meters to crash into a mountain. Seeing this, Department Head Chen and Dawn were stunned. "He's way too tough. Even such a powerful attack couldn't hurt him." At that moment, Ago attacked again, but the source dodged by leaping into the air. "Don't be so hasty, it's your turn next." With that, the source stomped on Ago's shoulder, causing her arm to crack in countless places. Even so, Ago gripped the source's leg tightly. Her shoulder was crushed, and her arm was nearly broken. "Got you. You say you've got me, how amusing." But before he finished, the source was startled to see an eye opening on Ago's body. Ago activated her power, and her body disintegrated, the fragments dragging the source into the sky, and enveloping him. Then, two enormous stone hands slammed down on the source. Meanwhile, Ago's true body appeared on the palm. She was covered in countless nails. I told you, I've got you. Agon took aim and unleashed his power at full force. You bastard, try this. Energy erupted from Agon as he launched a fierce attack on the source. With a boom, Ago's stone hands were pierced, and the powerful energy shot straight into outer space. Meanwhile, in the real world, as H-City suddenly disappeared, the rift above continued to expand. The Special Act Enforcement Bureau was in chaos, trying to find the cause. Blackie stood before the rift, his palm swelling with black matter. With a sudden wave, he sent a giant black hand toward the rift. But as it neared the rift, the black hand was instantly destroyed, and turned back at Blackie, ripping off his arm in a flash. As he regenerated his arm, Blackie called headquarters. I still can't approach that rift. It's definitely the king's power, but it feels strange to me. Meanwhile, Lling watched the news in confusion. What is the king trying to do? If the rift keeps growing, the surrounding cities might get sucked in too. In his cage, Varmint laughed wildly. Don't you get it? The king is going to wipe out humanity. Let me out, I want to be his vanguard. Open the cage, Lling, let me out to kill, kill, kill. As Lling kicked the cage, butterflies suddenly shuddered. The end, it's the end. The prophecy of the divine throne has come true. We failed to kill Zombie, and now the apocalypse will be born within him. The whole universe will turn to ash because of him. On the other side, as the dust settled, the source remained bound by Ago and was covered in wounds of various sizes. He hadn't expected Zombie's underlings to actually injure him, nor had he imagined that Zombie's physical body would be less formidable than he thought. Seeing the source wounded, Agon's confidence grew. Ago, if we hit him like this a few more times, we might actually destroy him completely. Hearing this, Ago replied, a few more times is no problem, I can still keep him under control. At this, black mist emanated from the source, who snorted disdainfully. Ridiculous, you actually think you can control me? As he spoke, mysterious patterns appeared in his eyes and red markings emerged on his face. I am the source of all zombies, and you are nothing but zombies' little lackeys, gifted with a bit of power. You really think you can oppose me? Your arrogance has truly enraged me. In the next second, a terrifying pressure burst from the source's body. With a boom, a gigantic demonic shadow appeared on the earth, and everything around instantly began to shatter and collapse. Dawn was dumbfounded at the sight. How strong is this guy? Agon and Ago were also taken aback. The situation has changed. This won't be settled quickly, we'll need more effort. Meanwhile, elsewhere, the Frost Demon Zombie King and the Devouring Moon Zombie King were trembling under the source's pressure. The boss is fighting up there, are we really safe hiding here? You just don't get it. Let me give you some life advice. If you can avoid things you don't understand, life will be much easier. Besides, both the bald guy earlier and the one up there now have Lord Source's aura, but their attitudes toward humans are completely opposite. One wants to wipe out humanity, the other shamelessly wants to befriend them. So until we figure out what the boss wants, little guys like us should just hide here and not get involved, or we won't even know how we died. But before he finished, the Frost Fiend Zombie King pointed to her vanishing hand. My power is being absorbed by the boss. What do we do if there's no way to hide? Relax, I'm disappearing too. The boss is about to end the world, there's nothing we can do now, just lie down and wait for death. Look, there are plenty of others with us. What's there to be upset about? And so, the energy of the Frost Demon Zombie King and the Devouring Moon Zombie King, along with that of the other lords, all flowed into the source. Meanwhile, Prince Kai found Arya and Greta, and brought them to the Prophet, who was using his ability to heal Lling. Prophet, the battle isn't over yet. Please heal these two as well. I'm not a professional healer, just keeping them alive is already the limit. There's no way they can keep fighting. But as Prince Kai continued to persuade him, he suddenly looked fearfully into the distance, where countless black dots were quickly moving from a mountaintop. Prophet, look, what's that? The mountain is moving. Nonsense, isn't the whole world shaking now? Did you get hit in the head and start hallucinating? But when the Prophet used his ability to investigate, he was shocked. Whoa, this is insane. It turned out that the mountain Prince Kai saw was actually a massive zombie tide made up of countless zombies, the kind that could swallow the entire world. Dawn and Department Head Chen were dumbfounded. Are you kidding? Even if every human in our world turned into a zombie, there wouldn't be this many. Department Head Chen sighed in relief. Good thing this is just zombies' memory. If this zombie tide appeared in the real world, the whole world would be flattened in an instant. But Ago poured cold water on their hopes. It makes no difference. We have to stop the zombie tide here in the dream. If we fail, humanity in this world will be wiped out, the memory world will collapse, and then it'll be the real world's turn. If the tide reaches reality, the casualties will be unimaginable. The problem is, Agon and I need to focus on fighting the source. If we don't deal with him first, the zombie tide will only get stronger and eventually consume everything, just like the Divine Age civilization faced in the past. Hearing this, Department Head Chen and Dawn immediately understood. Department Head Chen plunged his hand into his chest, and in an instant, the golden gauntlet covered his arm. We'll leave zombie to you. As for the zombie tide, Dawn and I will do our best to hold them off. Seeing Department Head Chen put on the golden gauntlet, Dawn protested. Isn't that ancient mech gauntlet dangerous? Won't it take over your body? Why did you keep such a thing? It's fine. At least right now, in destroying zombies, my will is the same as the ancients. With that, Department Head Chen activated the gauntlet, entering mech mode. Well, Dawn, ready to take on the zombie tide with me? Hearing this, Dawn transformed at once. How could I miss out on fighting the zombie tide? Of course I'm in. Then she called up to Ago in the air. That guy took my Gatling gun earlier. Can you help me find it? Ago snapped her fingers, and the Gatling appeared above Dawn's head. Don't worry, I already got it ready for you. Seeing Dawn laugh and brimming with fighting spirit as she grabbed the Gatling, Ago and Agon floated into the sky. We'll leave the zombie tide to you, let us focus on the source. Don't worry about us. You two just be careful. Hearing these warm words, Agon smiled slightly, and she and Ago charged toward the source together. Watching them leave, Dawn worried aloud. Can those two really defeat Zombie? I can't imagine Zombie being beaten, especially this one, who embodies pure malice toward humanity. At that moment, Violet limped over and said, they can definitely win. That guy isn't really Zombie, he's just someone occupying Zombie's body, so it's not impossible to defeat him. We absolutely can do it. Meanwhile, inside the fortress, the Espers were frantically repairing the damaged walls. Just when everyone thought the zombie tide was unstoppable and the world was doomed, countless giant swords suddenly rained down from the sky, instantly blocking the tide and reversing the situation. It turned out Department Head Chen had arrived at this critical moment. He conjured a massive sword with a wave of his hand, and with a thunderous crash, drove it into the ground, instantly annihilating the leading zombies. Then, with a flick of his finger, Department Head Chen caused countless enormous swords, each over 10 meters long, to rise from the earth. At that moment, he seemed like a thunder god descended to earth, single-handedly holding back the zombie tide. I'm almost done here, Violet, you all hang in there. As soon as he finished speaking, time across the area was suddenly frozen by a mysterious power, and the countless giant swords hung motionless in the air. It was Violet, seizing the opportunity to once again unleash her thought deity, Purple Moon Veil, then swinging her blade at the bound source's neck. But the source grinned, then swung a fist at Violet. That trick doesn't work on me at all. Die, insect. With a loud crack, Violet's thought deity was shattered by a single blow, and she was sent flying to the ground, creating a massive crater. At this, the source gnashed its teeth. Annoying flies, this is endless. It turned out Ago had manifested a giant stone hand to grab at him. The source kicked back, shattering the stone hand instantly. As Ago lamented, as expected, the king's body isn't easy to control. The source suddenly flashed before her, grabbed Ago's arms, and with a burst of strength, tore both off. However, the source was suddenly startled and leaned back, narrowly dodging a barrage of Gatling gunfire. Dawn had joined the fight. You zombie-faced bastard, you really can't repair your body anymore. Looks like Violet was right, you can't fully control Zombie's body, and you don't even know how to use it properly. Hit where it hurt, the source flew into a rage, flashed in front of Dawn, and punched a hole through her body. You talk too much for a fly. Seeing Dawn injured, Ago rushed over, but the source flung Dawn at her, sending her crashing into Ago. If you flies are so eager to die, I'll grant your wish. But before he could make a move, Agon appeared behind Dawn and Ago, catching them, and unleashing a barrage of energy attacks at the source. The source could only dodge repeatedly. In the next instant, Agon accelerated and appeared behind the source, preparing another energy strike. You're not bad for a fly, so you can die first. With that, the source struck Agon. But at that moment, Ago suddenly appeared behind him. Agon, I'm coming to help. Hold him off, I'll charge up a big one to hit him with. Upon hearing their teamwork, the source instantly lost his composure. You two nobodies talking to yourselves is just, but before he could finish, Violet used her thought deity to freeze him and swung her blade at his head. Yet, just 0.01 centimeters from his neck, she couldn't get any closer. Damn, just a little more. My strength still isn't enough. Regaining composure, the source glared coldly at Violet. You've missed your chance, insects. Now it's over. As soon as he finished, a violent blood mist erupted from the source, shattering Violet's thought deity instantly. In the blink of an eye, the blood mist formed a giant vortex in the air. Under its assault, Agon and the others were knocked back to the ground. When the dust cleared, Agon and Ago had both reverted to their original forms. As expected of the king, his power is terrifying. We're no match for him. But at that moment, Violet approached and declared, "We may not have finished him in one go, but we've still succeeded." In her hand was an arm. I wanted to cut off his head, but that was too hard, so I settled for an arm. At this, Dawn looked up and taunted. Well, my taunting must have really rattled him. He showed a flaw, right? He must be pissed off now. The source, missing an arm, stood dumbfounded in the air. He never expected to be wounded by his own creations. Maybe Zombie's body wasn't so powerful after all. Seeing this, Dawn shouted excitedly, "Let's charge again. He's lost an arm, he's finished." But just as he finished, she coughed up blood. Violet hurried to support her. Don't push yourself, even with Zombie's genes, your body is at its limit. One mistake and you'll be killed instantly. At that moment, Agon and Ago walked over. Leave the rest to us. He's lost an arm, he's much weaker now, we can win in the next round. But the source grinned at these words. Ignorant insects. Do you really think I care about this worthless body? I was only using Zombie's power to toy with you. Since that's the case, let me show you my true form. As he spoke, a black face gradually formed amidst swirling black mist. I am the source of all zombies, formless, invisible, undying, and indestructible. Seeing this, Agon and Ago tensed up. His true body is on par with the king, we need to be careful. But at that moment, Zombie suddenly spoke. Are you even polite? Coming and going as you please, did you get my permission? As he spoke, two new arms instantly grew from his stump, and he grabbed the source, dragging it back inside. It's just one missing arm, right? I'll give you two more, okay? Since you're out, have fun, but stay put inside my body. And just like that, the source, having just escaped, was stuffed back into Zombie's body again. Sweat trickled down his face. How could this be? Why can't I get out of this body?